What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. Detroit Lions video like I promised, and one more coming today. It'll be a Lions video. But should the Detroit Pistons hire Chauncey Billups to run that organization? If you didn't know, Flip Saunders wanted him to run the Timberwolves organization. I think he wanted him to be the head coach. Chauncey had no interest in being the head coach. Cleveland, they wanted him to run the organization. Over there, I don't think he wanted to deal with the LeBron coming and going stuff. So, he's had opportunities, and he's pretty damn good on TV as well. But I say go for it, man. He definitely helped change our franchise with bringing in Ben Wallace, bringing in Rip, and bringing in him, and bringing in Tayshaun and Rasheed and all those guys. He definitely changed the complexion of this organization, or helped change it. Larry Brown definitely helped mold him and reach the potential that people thought he was when he was, a top 5 pick in Boston, coming out of Colorado. And, the Pistons know Chauncey Billups' IQ. The Pistons know if he can evaluate players. And, I think he can evaluate better than Stan Van Gundy. I think a lot of fans can evaluate players better than Stan Van Gundy. I mean, obviously, they had Luke Kennard. They worked them out. They also worked out Donovan Mitchell. I mean, if you put those two in the separate gym in the same gym, I think 90% of people would say Donovan Mitchell, if you ask him not to be biased, was way better. I mean, goodness, they picked Stanley Johnson over Devin Booker. To be frank, I believe 12 teams passed on Devin Booker. Look at him now, dropping 70, 80 points on people or something like that. And not only Devin Booker is a Michigan product. His dad was a former pro basketball player. He's from Grand Rapids. So how do you let somebody with that talent slide by you? So it's been a lot of, bad draft picks that definitely could have changed the complexion of this Piston organization. KCP over Giannis Antetokounmpo. Luke Kennard over Donovan Mitchell over Kyle Kuzma. I mean, you can keep going and going. Stanley over Devin Booker. You can keep going and going. And in a market like Detroit, you got to be able to draft. And you got to be able to understand what you need to do to be a top organization. And when you drafting late in the lottery or in the middle of the lottery, you got to hit those picks. You got to hit those picks, okay? And the proper way to do it, I know a lot of Pistons fans and Piston people don't believe it, is to be dead sorry and get a high draft pick the next few years. Do what Philadelphia did. Obviously, people not coming down to Little Caesars Palace to see the Pistons. So why are you trying to, make a 5-course meal with scraps? Just scrap everybody, trade everybody, do what you got to do, be real bad, get top draft picks. The next 2 drafts, they missed on this draft with the Blake Griffin trade, are epic. This draft right here is epic. DeAndre Ayton, the Doncic guy that's over from Europe, the Mamba guy from Texas, Trae Young, Michael Porter Jr., Colin Sexton. It's epic. From 1 to 10 or 15, this draft is phenomenal. And the Pistons don't even have a pick. I think that one of their picks are top 5 protected or something like that. And, ask yourself if you're in a Tom Gore situation in his shoes. And if you interview Chauncey Billups, or if you think you know Chauncey Billups, what questions would you ask him? But the one question we ask him, can you turn it around? Can you evaluate talent? That's the 2 questions. Free agency, it's hard to get people to come to Detroit because of the stigma and what people say about Detroit. I stay down south. Well, you from Detroit? My roommate, my doormate, he locked his shit up for the first month. Judging books by its cover. Not even judging the book by its cover, judging where I'm from. And people just got a bad taste people when you say Detroit. But it is what it is. But it's got some of the beautiful metropolitan area. Best suburbs. But it get a bad rap. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Excuse me, y'all. But hopefully Chauncey can get the job, man. I don't know too many other people that'll really be interested in this job. I understand they got a new stadium. They got an owner that's willing to spend the big bucks. But like I said, it's just a stigma about Detroit out there, the labeling. And Chauncey being here, you know what it is. I think Chauncey is the best candidate for the job. Me personally. Unless, somebody come up. But guys like For them to consider guys like Don Nelson, if he's still on the coach, George Karl, Jeff Van Gundy, guys like that, I think they're too old. I think the NBA's passed them by. I don't think Davis Finsdale will come here. But we're not talking about head coaches. We're talking about guys that can run an organization. I think Don Nelson can run an organization right now, but I think he's old. I think more of those guys, like that's in that category, they can run an organization. They don't want to coach no more. I think Chauncey don't want to coach. He want to run an organization. He don't want to be on the plane 82 games a year or whatever like that. Maybe, he can bring some guys in that can help him evaluate talent. With some experience in the NBA. Maybe a guy like Larry Brown. You can bring him in the front office and evaluate talent. But one thing for sure, one thing for certain, Stan Van Gundy got to go. But I definitely I'd rather have somebody young and innovative. Unless somebody like Phil Jackson will come here and run. I'm not even Phil. I forgot how bad of a run he had in New York. Excuse me. I forgot how bad a run he had in New York. But somebody proven, if you get somebody proven that can come here and run an organization, yeah, I'm with it. Okay. But I like young and innovative, and I think Chauncey is a young star in the business, and I think you got to capitalize on it. He won a championship here. Him running the team might get people to buy tickets. I really do think so. So I'm definitely pro Chauncey for the job. If I could today, I'd give him the job right now and then fire Stan Van Gundy. It's nothing personal. It's just he ain't get the job done. Our sports situation is very, very terrible right now. I mean, when the Lions is your biggest hope in the city, it's really never good. We need the Pistons to be back on top, and do their thing and be down here in Detroit, and people show mad love. And I understand that, and people say it's a hockey arena. I mean, they closer to the city now. I mean, people been mad because they left the Palace. But, nobody was driving up to the Palace. Well, when you go to the Palace, it was a trip. You got to go to Great Lakes Crossing and do stuff like that. But they're the Detroit Pistons, not the Auburn Hill Pistons. They did belong in Detroit. If they can do good enough now, maybe they can get their own stadium. But it's a long way to a tear down, to a rebuild, to a contender, to a championship, contender. It's a long way. And the NBA is one of the hardest sports to build the team from the bottom all the way up. Very, very hard and long and strenuous.